Hello, and welcome to episode 7 of the
Episode
Jedi
7
and the Spark Show.
Yeah.
My name's Peju.
And my name is Obi.
And together we are
The Jedi
and the Spark.
Yes, sirree.
Yes, indeed. So, some exciting speaking engagements have been had since the last episode.
Indeed, yeah. There's always a lot that happens in between the episodes.
What has happened for you?
Ooh, wow. Well, I have had one of the most exciting speaking experiences. So I got to deliver my first TEDx.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yes.
TEDx speaker in the house.
Indeed.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was... Of all of the speaking engagements I've had, this has absolutely been one of the most incredible.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Why would you say so?
So the organizer for the TEDx that I spoke at said he does keynote speaking as well, a professional speaker. And he said there's no speaking experience like it. There's nothing quite like a TEDx. And I thought, I've delivered keynotes. I've spoken at big events, small events, everywhere in between, right? Internationally, the works. And I couldn't quite understand what he meant until I experienced it. There is, the only word I can think of is it's a little bit like a sacred experience. For one, generally speaking, when I speak at an event, a client says, "Hey, can you speak on this topic, etc., etc." With a TEDx, it really is what's on your heart that you want to share with the world, and you have 18 minutes to do it.
Wow.
And it's being filmed, right? There's no outtakes or anything.
No cut.
Yeah, no cut, right?
Okay.
And so it was powerful, and I loved it so much. The preparation, the delivery. In fact, the day after, I wanted to do it again, right? I was dreaming about it. So really looking forward to sharing it when it's out.
Oh, yes.
We will put it in the show notes of whatever episode we're on.
So watch this space.
Watch the space.
Is there a line you remember from the TEDx? Because you internalized it so much.
Is there a line out every line?
One
the essence of it. Whew. I'm not going to give it away just yet.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not going to give it away. You got to watch it. You got to watch it.
Super.
Yes.
Super. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. And what about you?
Ooh, I had a wonderful event that I got to speak at. It's called People Like Us.
People like us.
Google
people like you and me.
Well, people like us. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about what they do. People Like Us is an award-winning not-for-profit that celebrates and supports media, marketing, and communications professionals from Black, Asian, mixed race, and minoritized ethnic backgrounds. They're also on a mission to help foster a fairer workplace for all through equitable pay, whatever your heritage.
Nice.
So really powerful opportunity for me to speak about what was on my heart, but I only got 3 minutes.
Okay.
3 minutes.
3 powerful minutes.
3 powerful minutes. It was wonderful. It was at the Samsung HQ. Had an incredible time really learning how to internalize my message about what's on my heart. Thank you. And if I was to think about one line, this is what I would say.
Okay, you can say your line.
Okay. So this is what I said. People Like Us has become a platform to transform dead no's into yes no's. So what started off as juxtaposition has become an intentional invitation for people like me to show up, speak up, and shake things up.
The spark in the house.
Thank you. So yes,
alrighty.
That was great.
Okay.
Really great. So we've had some exciting opportunities to do what we love doing, which is speaking. But now.
Yes. So you shared your line. I didn't want to share my line just because I want to create that intrigue.
Of course.
However, let's talk about something taboo.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Something.
Taboo.
It's just taboo, right? It's taboo. But before we go into what it is, I've got a question.
Okay.
Right? So if someone gave you £10,000 right now, what would you do with it?
10,000.
And if you're watching, then think about this as well. What would you do? Someone gave you £10,000 right now. What would you do? Okay. So what would you do?
£10,000. I would immediately think about saving it.
Okay.
Right. I would think about a round the world trip.
Okay.
No expense spared. Limitless days on the beach, traveling the world. And I would think about investing probably last.
Yeah, so that was hilarious because I was just thinking, you said, I think about saving it.
Yes.
And then around the world trip, and I'm just thinking, that's it, it's all gone. Right? And then
What are you
maybe the
planning to
50p that is left to invest. Okay. So
What would you do?
immediately, my immediate thought is invest.
Okay,
So,
very
how do
nice,
I?
different.
I'm already thinking, how do I maximize this? How do I turn this £10,000 into £20,000 into 30,000? And so I'm just thinking, I might earmark maybe 2 or 3,
We're definitely not
perhaps,
holiday.
to I don't know, a holiday but I'm just thinking, how do you maximize
Yes.
that? So that's already revealing. That's already revealing, right?
So we're talking about a taboo subject, which is
Money.
Money.
Right? Money is taboo.
right, in
And there's some
relationships.
stats on this as well, right?
So there's some interesting stats which haven't changed much, and really, it's money is one of those top 3 reasons why couples usually break apart and marriages dissolve.
Yeah.
In the UK, but even across,
And global, I think
a global
you look at
statistic.
some of the stats in other countries.
top 3 reasons
yeah.
why relationships break up and
Yeah.
marriages dissolve or couples get divorced is money.
And we're talking about it. What could this do? What
Money.
could
So why?
this do? And I think, that's why I said it's taboo.
Right.
And it's just emotional. It brings up emotions. There's some mystery around money as well. And so we've noticed couples don't know how to have great conversations about money. And so it is absolutely important to address this. And
and we're learning to have
Sure.
better
Yeah.
conversations
Absolutely.
about money, starting even with how we were brought up.
Yes.
Upbringing.
And I think one of the questions that we'd like people to just tune into as we have this conversation is, how can money conversations become something that connects rather than divides?
Yes.
Right? Because and often that disconnection comes because of how people see it, how they see money, what they've been told about it. Yes, what they've been taught about it.
Definitely.
And so you said our upbringing. For me, if I think of mine, so I've shared this before, the dad grew up with a single mum, amazing mum, older sister. It did mean that I didn't necessarily feel this growing up, that we didn't have a lot of dosh. We had what we needed, but we absolutely didn't have a lot of dosh. And so I learned then to budget pretty early on, right? Just, hey, you haven't got a lot, so you got to learn to
make it stretch,
to budget.
Yeah.
It also meant that I would have a fear, and we'll talk a bit about some of the implications of this, but I would have a fear of not having enough, right? So those are some things. So generally speaking, we had what we needed, but didn't have a lot for the extras and to go wild.
Yeah. My upbringing was slightly different. So brought up with parents who stayed together, who were very professional, very hardworking, very accomplished. And I grew up with a lot of security about money. Not necessarily my money, but just family. There was money in the family that I knew I had access to.
Sure.
I've come from a line of incredibly entrepreneurial women. My mom, very entrepreneurial. Her mother before her, very business-minded. So I feel like my upbringing was quite privileged. There was enough to go around. It was a big family, enough to go around with extra. But also, we weren't spendthrifts, I would say. There was a respect for money. There was a healthy understanding that it takes hard work to make money, to create wealth. But we definitely were very comfortable.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So, yes. So I would say that left me with a way of wanting to be in terms of when I got married. It's really, I wasn't.
Yeah, that's got to continue, right? Yeah, there's just loads around.
I wouldn't say I was business minded. I used to look at my mom and my
Well, the money just flowed. Why do you need to be, right?
I look at my mom and grandma and think, wow, you're amazing. I'm not like you, but I ended up marrying a man like my mother and my grandmother. So
that's interesting.
The Obi's Igbo, right? So Obi's Igbo, and they say about Igbo men in Nigeria,
Yeah.
they are so good with money. They're good at making money. They're good at keeping money. They're great with wealth. They create wealth as a people. So I think subconsciously I decided I would marry a man like my mother and grandma and continue to be comfortable.
So that was, so we've talked about, how did we haven't even gone into how we met, but you just realized, Igbo man, that's it. I'm getting me one of those. I'm getting me one of those.
And other things as well. I was attracted to other things as well, but yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So a bit of our upbringing. Interestingly, though, for me, mum, yes, single mum, but my grandfather on mum's side was one of the first surveyors in Nigeria. My grandmother was quite entrepreneurial. And I guess sometimes in family dynamics, it doesn't always play out that just because parents are a certain way, that the offspring, their kids, end up internalizing. I mean, mum worked hard, but we just didn't have a lot of the dosh though. But should we...
I was going to say, because I think parents don't necessarily even have crucial conversations about money with their children.
Sure. Oh,
so
yeah.
You could have a certain way with wealth or a certain relationship with money, but you don't even have, it could even be taboo in families.
Sure. Yeah.
Do you see what
Absolutely.
I mean?
I mean, if it's taboo chatting about money, husband and wife, then absolutely you don't really bring the kids in it. Money is one of those things that in certain parts of society it's taboo. You just don't talk about it. You don't talk about what you earn. You don't talk about who's got what.
Yeah.
But we do need to have some healthy conversations about it.
Yes.
Should we
dialogue? Yeah.
Should we talk about some of the strengths and the shadow side of our bit as well? So I've alluded to it already, that because there wasn't as much dosh available, and I would say in part, maybe also because of the way I'm wired, and if you want to throw it in there because I'm Igbo, but I just learnt to budget.
Yeah.
And I love numbers. I was good at maths as well. And so I'd figure out, okay, you've got this, and then how do you spend it? How do you break it down? And so I learnt to do it in a very simple way, and then got into a bit more, I'd say, thoughtful, purposeful budgeting that just covered family expenses, everything. And obviously I've got to apply that to business as well, right? So how you manage business. So, and then knew the power of investing as well. And so paid attention to that. I am no Warren Buffett. I'm not trying to pretend that I am, but it's just, that was one of the strengths. A shadow side for me though, was both sometimes a fear of not having enough, and interestingly, a fear of excess as well. That, oh no, if I have too much, I'll be one of those nasty, evil, rich guys that just looks down on everyone. And so that could cause a little bit of sabotage, which is interesting.
Yeah, I think in my situation, my mother actually was incredible at talking about money with us. So I remember she would say things like, as a Nigerian woman, you need to have your own money. Don't rely on your husband for money. So I grew up with this sense of, your money is our money, but my money is my money.
Oh, wow.
Either way, I'm
Wow.
winning, right? Okay.
So you probably have some account somewhere, Cayman Islands, right? Guernsey, that I've known nothing.
Stash.
I know
cash.
nothing about. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, and so I definitely had that sense of money is good to have.
Sure.
And I remember mommy would say, don't spend money on things that don't matter. So the three crucial things you want to invest in or make sure you get right: good education, good home, so good house, and good food. So eat well, be educated really well to a high standard, and live well. Live in a great place. So learned that from my mom. And she also talked about having a business on the side. She was always big on, even if you have a job, start a business on the side. And it's taken decades for me to understand the value of that. But I would say for me, the shadow side then became an aversion to risk.
Sure.
Because
okay.
I just
okay.
wasn't brought up managing, less. Having to think about, well, if there was less in the pot, how would we diversify the income? There was enough. And so I never actually learned to strengthen that muscle of let's take a risk and see where that goes. Let's invest.
Sure.
We'll lose, but we'll gain.
Yeah.
And my mom had that, but that I definitely didn't take from her.
Sure. Yeah. Cool. Well, I think that's a great starting point, though, just understanding, hey, the upbringing, understanding some of the strength, the shadow side of it. And I think now worth talking about, how do you actually grow as a couple in being able to have the conversation? Because back to the opening question, it's how can money conversations be something that connects rather than divides? And three things we want to talk about.
Go for
Two I'll dive into. First one is see it for what it is. When you see that money is a tool, a servant that is meant to be, hey, you're sending it when you invest it. Hey, go do this, right? Yeah. Go grow, go multiply, right? That's it. Then that emotional, you're not linking it to my sense of worth or my identity or ego, all of that, but it's just put it to good use. Definitely. That's what money is. And then in relation to that, second thing is recognize that money is energy that needs to flow.
Defo.
It needs to flow and a big part of that is it's things like specialization. So I'm really big on, if I'm not great at that, I don't think, I need to save £50 there and I'll do it, or £100 there. I just think, no, I know my specialism and I can charge a lot for that.
Right.
I'll pay you for that. That's part of money flowing. That's, you then collaborate, money flows, just getting people involved, money flows. So those two things, see it for what it is. It's a tool, it's a servant, recognize that it's energy and it needs to flow.
Super. So money can grow if it's, use it as a servant.
Yeah.
Don't let it be your master. You master it. Yeah. Let it grow. And money needs to flow like good energy.
Yeah.
It needs to kind of be sent out to flow.
Absolutely.
And it always comes back somehow.
Yeah. Otherwise, it becomes this dirty pond, right? Stagnant. You need it to flow. That's the energy. Yeah.
And I'd say for the third tip would be make this a team conversation. So talk about money as though you are equals.
Yeah.
It's not a power struggle. It's a conversation that can really build a lot more goodness and abundance into your relationship.
Absolutely.
And I think what's key with having this conversation as equals is there needs to be psychological safety.
Sure. Yeah.
So obviously with money, there's a lot of shame and guilt involved that maybe people have made really bad mistakes in the past and they're feeling a sense of, I want to hide this. I don't want to bring it to the light. So I think creating a safe space where you're both feeling secure about this conversation would be really helpful.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
So good. Teamwork makes the dream work, and teamwork makes it grow and flow.
Oh, yeah. Okay. He's becoming a poet.
Well, you'll rub it off on me after, 23 years? Yeah. All right. So where are we going to go next?
I'm thinking, so for our listeners, there are probably two questions that might be rising in your minds as a result of this conversation. Firstly, How do we talk about money when one person shuts down?
Ooh, okay.
So our listeners are thinking, yeah, we know this is a great topic. It's needed. I want to be connected to my partner, to my spouse. But this other person in the relationship constantly shuts down when we talk about money.
Sure.
So firstly, what do we do in that situation? And secondly, what if one person is more of a spender and one person is more of a saver? How do we negotiate that dynamic?
All right.
So, yeah.
Good questions that will be on their mind. Ladies first.
Okay, so I'll talk about. Thank you. Right. Okay. I'll talk about how you make this conversation safe when the other person shuts down, and I can say I'm the one who would probably shut down when we talk about money, finances, because you're the sort of guy who would say, okay, babe, what is our 5-year plan? How are we going to take over the world
right?
in 10 years? What's our vision?
Or
and
11.
I'm thinking,
I mean,
I don't know. My mind doesn't even go there. So there's a sense of inadequacy that I feel about these conversations, maybe because I'm still honing that strength about finances and budgeting and taking risks and investing. So I would say from my experience is, again, I go back to psychological safety. So think about the time you're bringing up these conversations about money. If it's right before bed,
Let me make a note of that.
your partner's kind of dozing off and you're like, no, let's talk about money, let's budget. So think about the time. Right time is important. The right place you have these conversations is important. I wouldn't do it in front of our kids necessarily.
Make another note.
I
No,
wouldn't
don't
do it in
that.
public when, family and friends are there. This is a private conversation, firstly, between the two of you. And as you grow in your confidence as a couple, then you can even invite other people to share their ideas as well. So I would say, think about the time you have the conversations. Think about the place you have the conversations. And thirdly, think about the way you have the conversation. If it comes across like you're going to accuse or you're going to fan into flame the shame that this other person who shuts down is feeling, I would say think about the way you come across.
Sure.
Curiosity is always a bridge. So ask questions and draw this person out. Try and find out where they're at and what they're feeling. That's what I would say.
Okay. All right.
So draw me out. How am I feeling?
Yeah, how are you feeling about the...
Let's put into practice. 25
How are you feeling about the 5-year plan? Right?
Talk after.
And world domination.
This is a public space.
Okay. All right. So the second question then, remind me what the second question
So the second
was.
question that the listeners might be wanting to really talk about and address is, I'm a really big spender. My partner is more of a saver, or vice versa. How do we even begin to have these conversations?
Yeah.
Cash.
Well, I'm going to go back to something that we talked about in episode 1 and that we keep revisiting, which is the you, me, and we.
Yeah.
Because you could look at something like that and say, oh, is the goal be more of a spender? Look at what's going on in the... Oh, well, OBM Peju said it's got to flow, so spend.
No,
right. That's not what we're saying.
For that, please.
Or they'll say, oh no, look at the market, tariffs, it's the economy, we got to save. It's and, right? You, me, and we. So what I bring to the table and what you bring to the table. So, because the challenge with someone like me is I could say, yeah, let's invest, let's just go wild, but you've got to have a degree of caution and enjoy life and have a degree of caution too, right? So it's about taking advantage of the strengths of both. So I think having the conversations, and if you are the spender, taking the time to think through, oh wow, what's the advantage of saving, just having that pot, putting some things aside, and if you are the saver, actually, how can this grow if we spend it as well? Because, hey, there's that money can erode if you just keep it in the bank, right? Inflation and all of that. And so you've got to figure out things like, compound interest and all of that. Lots of great resources out there that we can signpost people to. But I think it's taking advantage of the strengths of what we both bring, you, me, and we, and then you become so much better. And you see this in business, right? Governance, you have a board, it's different perspectives that help you make the best financial, commercial decisions. And so I think that couples can be so much stronger together. Now, if there is one spouse that's stronger, then, in a sense that could guide things, but absolutely.
Yeah, and I'd also say, think about if your saving pattern is based on fear. So are you over-saving?
So good. Yeah.
Because there's a fear of, we need to amass, we don't have enough, there's never enough. Is your mindset more abundance or
scarcity?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'd say for the other one who spends, is there fear about the way you spend? Is there you want to look a certain way and
ego,
keep up,
right? Yeah.
Keep up with the neighbors, keep up with the Chinwezis or the Joneses or Kafors, who are you trying to keep up with? So think about where, if there's a fear connected to your saving pattern or your spending pattern.
Fear or a sense of pride, right?
Defo.
Yeah.
Okay, super.
Cool.
That was helpful.
That was indeed.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we go to spin the wheel
Let's
time?
Money.
All right. It's time for spin the wheel.
Let's do it.
We've got a different one this time. It's questions related to
money.
Money. Good to talk about it.
Money.
All right, so I'm going to go and let's do it. These are brand new questions, so it really doesn't matter where it lands, which is cool.
That's true, actually.
Let's see.
Okay.
All right.
What was your first big splurge?
What was your first big splurge?
Mine was my wedding dress. I would
That
say
was your first big splurge?
Big splurge on that wedding dress. As a woman, you want that.
Was that from the
perfect.
Cayman Islands account?
But thinking back, I would say next time. Well, no, gosh, there's no next time with a wedding dress, right? But
okay, I was just saying, I think that's it. End of the season.
If I was to wind back time, I would hire a wedding dress.
Okay.
I would hire one. I would hire the one that I really love, because now my beautiful, expensive wedding dress is in the garage.
Yeah. Okay.
What was yours?
My first big splurge, I think it was an us splurge. It was the first property we bought.
Oh,
I think so,
okay.
because I hired my outfit. I mean, guys do, right? Hey, that's what we do. So
Igbo man. There you go.
I hired mine. Hey, it's leverage. Let it flow, right? You're a specialist in that.
That's right.
So I think that was our biggest one, and then afterwards we bought a car, and so those were that was our first big splurge.
So can you see the difference? First big splurge, wedding dress, property. You can see where we're going with this. Okay.
Right.
Next question. Okay, you can read this one.
Oh, okay. What was
Oh.
your biggest money mistake?
That's a good question.
So I don't know if I would say this was my biggest money mistake, but in the spirit of, investing and all of that, do you remember when I bought, it was back in the day when they had those really cool Nokia phones, the ones with the QWERTY keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, hey, let's buy some of those from somewhere in Europe, and then I get them and then I'll sell them.
So, yeah.
The website on reflection now looked dodgy, but I just thought, oh, wow, great deal. Brilliant. Oh, wow, I'm going to make a killing. And I sent it through Western Union or something like that back in the day. And some guy has probably invested my money or spent it probably.
Yeah.
So that was it wasn't a big mistake. It wasn't massive, but it was something that thought you just need to be a little bit more cautious.
Yeah, defo.
Yeah,
I
so-
remember. That was an ouch. That hurt.
It was, yeah.
My biggest money mistake, I would say, is probably clothes. Just overspending, going out and thinking, oh, I like this, I'll get it. I like this, I'll get it. And then going home and thinking, ooh, but I have so much at home that I didn't need what I got. So I would say that, just overspending on clothes, would be my biggest money mistake.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll come to the others another time. Another time.
Or to do another one.
Yeah.
One more. No.
Go for it.
Okie doke. So one more. Oh, we've done that. First big splurge.
Yeah, we've done that.
Let's go again.
And if it's what was your first big splurge, then all right. What's the most ridiculous thing you've ever bought?
Ridiculous.
Do you know what? This is so hard because I don't think I buy ridiculous things.
We're not the sort of people.
Yeah. There we go. I don't think we're meant to answer that question because I really can't think of a ridiculous
Case
thing
closed.
that I've bought. Anyway. All right.
Evil in him.
I buy purposeful things.
Purpose, that's
I
right.
buy
Okay.
purposeful things.
Super
Okay. Time for a Jedi Resource and a Spark challenge.
Yeah.
I'm going to kick off. There are so many great books out there. So I think for me, that's it. Read. Yes, there's YouTube videos, all of that. But there are two that come to mind. The Jews are phenomenal when it comes to money. And so there's one guy, I read two of his books many years ago, Rabbi Daniel Lapin, Business Secrets from the Bible. You read that, boom.
Wow.
I mean, you've got some great resources out there. Rob Moore, here in the UK, his book on money, Know More, Make More, Give More is phenomenal. He's got some others as well. So we'll put those links in the show notes. So
So what we're saying,
some Jedi resources.
Yeah, I think what we're saying is to educate yourself.
Yeah,
there's so much out there. Start reading, start learning, start sharing, start trying what you're learning. And the Spark Challenge, I would say, is to schedule as a couple a 30-minute money conversation.
Yeah.
Now, if you're used to conversing about money, go deeper.
Sure.
If you're not used to talking about money, just initiate a conversation.
Yeah.
Safe place, safe time, safe approach, and talk about how your background has shaped your engagement, your money mindset, your relationship with money, and how is that impacting your relationship?
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. I think that's definitely going to be a great thing to do to start so that conversations about money connect rather than divide, which is what we wanted this to be about.
And they're no longer taboos.
Yeah.
We want
no longer taboo.
Put a pin in that. It becomes crucial conversations, not taboo.
Helpful conversations, purposeful conversations.
Yeah, definitely. Connecting conversations.
Speaking of connecting, our time of connecting on this topic has come to an end. Wow. So go spend, save, flow, invest,
risk.
And while you're doing that, subscribe, like and share.
Questions.
Send in questions.
Comments. Let us know how you are engaging with us and how this is helping your relationship. We're all about couples thriving in all seasons of life.
Indeed. And email us at the Jedi and the Spark at gmail.com. And if I got that wrong, the correct email address is in the show notes. Until next time, you know what's coming. May the Force be with you and your money.
And may your spark always burn bright.
Over and out.
See you later.
Wanna hear you go.